Alright, you lot. Nero Cinema dropped his Black Ops 7 Zombies review, and after watching all bloody thing front to back, and I do mean watching, not skimming between ad breaks like some ADHD-riddled goldfish, I've got some corrections to make. This isn't a reaction video, this is a reality check. Cause Nero sat there whinging about problems that don't exist anymore, using numbers that are complete and utter bollocks, 2 weeks after the game were patched. So let's get surgical. No filters, no apologies, and absolutely no mercy for lazy research. Let's start with Doomsteel Camo, cause this is where Nero's entire argument collapses like a Doncaster kebab shop at 3 AM. He's breaking down how grind takes 15 hours using his save-scum directed mode cheese. 3 minutes per kill, 10 kills per weapon, 30 weapons. Plus maths like he's solving a bloody murder on Crime Watch. 15 hours total. No, horror. 15 hours to get final mastery camo in a mode designed to last a bastard year. Mate, that ain't a grind. That's a long weekend, a takeaway and a wank in between rounds. But here's where it gets proper interesting. And by interesting, I mean embarrassing for him. That save-scum cheese he's been basing his entire whinge fest on, one way that kills Uber Klaus, save and quit, reload, rinse and repeat, like they're washing the balls in sink. That were patched on December 10th. Season 1 patch notes explicitly state, and I fucking quote, addressed an issue that caused Uber Klaus to spawn again in directed mode after having been defeated if match was saved and reloaded. The entire time estimate, Nero, is based on a method that don't work anymore, and they posted this video on December 21st. 2 weeks after the patched exploit they based the entire complaint on. 2 fucking weeks! That means they either recorded this support patch and couldn't be asked to update it, didn't know game had been patched cause they were too busy sniffing the own content, or knew it was patched but kept complaints anyway cause it was better for clickbait. None of these are good looks, mate. That's not journalism, that's not even competent whinging. That's just being a lazy bastard with an upload schedule. But let's pretend exploit still worked. Let's use the numbers, Nero. 15 hours for all 30 weapons over a 12-month game cycle. 12 bastard months! That's 1.25 hours per month. 20 minutes per week. A coffee break. A shit and a scroll through Twitter. Single episode or Office. And not even a good one. That ain't a grind. That's a participation trophy they're complaining about not getting fast enough. Because they want it handed to thee on a silver platter with a blowjob alongside. And those 3-minute kill times they're citing? Complete and utter horseshit. My son and anyone with basic fucking aim can drop a Zersa bear in under a minute. So I'm still the best. Hit red weak spot that's left behind. Done. Not 3 minutes. Not even close. He's got 18 Doomsteel camos unlocked already and he ain't save-scumming. He ain't cheesing directed mode. He's just playing fucking game. Single sessions. Ain't taking him 15 bloody hours. And if a 21-year-old can do that while working full-time, then a professional content creator with likely more hours in Zombies than me nan's got in bingo is no fucking excuse. None. Zero. Out. So Nero sat there making a video about how grind's too long based on a method that were patched 2 weeks before he posted, using kill times 3 times slower than reality, over a time frame that works out to 20 minutes per week. That ain't a design flaw. That's a content creator who didn't do his homework complaining about a problem that don't fucking exist. That's like me reviewing a car that was recalled last month and saying brakes are shite. Bloody research muppet. Now let's talk about Asher's at damn boss fight, cause this is where Nero has his big meltdown like a toddler who's dropped his ice cream on hot pavement. According to him, it ain't a shooter anymore, it's a driving game. Passengers denote, it's all on driver. One person carries, everyone else is just along for the ride like spare pricks at a wedding. Except that ain't true, at all, and I've got receipts to prove it, unlike some lazy bastards I could mention. From Game 8's official guide, during boss fight, zombies will also attack you, leaving little room to revive teammates or repair old Tessie when it breaks down. From PC Gamer, boss will also periodically grab old Tessie and chuck it across arena like a toy truck. Damage will force you out at truck and you'll have to spend some salvage to get it up and running again. From Gamerant, DG2 turret will also deal good damage, and if you have a player in turret, aim for open mouths and underneath carriage on Vitharian's body. So what's passenger job, Nero? Man DG2 turret and shoot bosses' weak spots for massive damage. Kill Ravagers before they shred the truck like a dog with a chew toy. clear zombie hordes that are attacking Tessie, retrieve max ammo and max armor power-ups with wonder weapon. That ain't doing naught. That's playing bloody game. That's called having a fucking job in the team fight. But they're sat there in passenger seat doing fuck all. Got carried by a Jett like a sack of taters, and then called it bad design. I admitted it this end. Flat out said Jett did it in one go, while I failed 4 times. And then instead of going, maybe our weak link, maybe our problem here, that turned it into design flaw. That's like falling asleep in a raid and blaming Bungie when boss gave us this going. I were AFK, mate. Mentally checked out. Not mechanics. That says it into team fight. It absolutely fucking is. That just forgot to be part of the team. Driver ramps, boss and manager's positioning. Bullet gunner shoots weak spots during damage phases. Other passengers control ads and keep Tessie alive. That's 3 distinct roles. 3 jobs. 3 reasons to not sit there with it all up the ass. But they wanted to sit there tickling boss with the pea shooter while someone else did work. And when that didn't pan out, they blamed game. That ain't criticism, that's cope. Pure weapons grade cope. And here's what really gets me about his review. Worst bit, part that reveals what's actually going on behind curtain. It ain't about difficulty or mechanics. It's about dopamine. I can hear it in his voice. My own lad clocked it. 21-year-old, sharp as a tack, plays with me weekly. Turned to me mid-video and said, he sounds done, Dad. And he's right. Nero ain't playing for fun anymore. He's playing for unlocks. Playing for metrics. Playing for that little serotonin hit when number goes up and Camo unlocks. And when numbers don't tick fast enough, suddenly all things are disaster. Game's broken. Design's shit. Treyarch lost it. Bollocks. That ain't game design failing, mate. That's the own need for constant stimulation punching the gut. That's the brain rotted by years of chasing completion percentages instead of just enjoying fucking game. See, I'm still running laps on farm. Still running distraction loops while my son does his Easter egg wizardry like some sort of zombie slaying rain man. We've got it down to a rhythm. He cracks codes. I kite undead like a one-man parade through Barnsley Town Centre on a Friday night. I've finished challenges completely by accident. Not chasing, not sweating, not watching the progress bar like it owes me money. Just playing. Because to me, buoyant in Camo or checklist, it's in loop. Sound a pack-a-punch. Tension at round 45 when the arse is twitching and the ammo's low. I think when the mates get damned and that lasting alive with a pistol, a dream, and pure fucking rage. That's zombies. That's core. That's what they're supposed to be here for. But for content creators like Nero, and he's slipping into this crowd whether he means to or not, game's only worth it if it hands out prizes every 5 minutes. Like a mobile app that gives you a badge for breathing. Like a slot machine that never stops paying out. And once unlocked trial, suddenly it's boring. It's stale. It's a grind. It's like watching someone inhale a full buffet. Every plate, every bowl, every sad little dessert. And then complaint plates empty. That ain't design, mate. That's thee being a spoilt bastard who's forgotten why they started playing in first place. This ain't about defending bad design. There is no bad design here. Dunt steel grind is 20 minutes per week over a year. Boss fight is clear. Defined roles that they ignore because they wanted to be carried. Elite spawns are predictable and frequent if they knows what they're doing, which clearly they don't. This is about calling out factually incorrect whining from someone who should bloody well know better. Someone with years of experience. Someone with a platform. Someone who'll come to your house to check his patch notes made his entire video obsolete before hitting upload. If they want dopamine, go up on TikTok and watch brain rot for 8 hours. If they want zombies, that's got to earn it. And earning it don't mean save-scumming an exploit that don't work anymore. It means learning mechanics, understanding roles, playing with your mates, running some laps, killing zombies that love it, not just for loot. Not just for Camo, not just for thumbnail that say I got Doom Steel in one session while the audience rots their own brains trying to copy thee. This ain't a review, Nero. It's a confession. A confession that they didn't read patch notes, didn't learn mechanics, didn't bother checking if the complaints were still valid before hitting publish. By complaining about a game that don't exist anymore, based on methods that don't work anymore, using numbers that were never accurate in first place. I ain't content. That's embarrassment with a sponsor read. No hate to Nero. He's done good work over the years. Built something real. But this one needs correcting. Cause all thing reeks as someone who's more interested in unlocks than actual gameplay. Someone who's forgotten that pointer zombies ain't Camo at end. It's chaos in the middle. Like, subscribe and all that bollocks. Drop the comments and questions below. Tell me the worst camo grind or a story. Or tell me I'm wrong and Nero's right. I'll roast you either way, and I'll enjoy every second of it. And I'll see you next time, you magnificent.